So what does it mean to be patent pending in 2026? Hey everybody, I'm JD Houvener, owner, founder, and patent attorney here at Bold Patents Law Firm. I'm going to break this down for you and get into detail on this long form video about patent pending. You probably all heard these two coined phrases, right? Patent pending, patents pending, US patent pending, different types of abbreviations, PAT, PAT, then the number. Maybe you've heard about it on Shark Tank. But what does it really mean? And who polices this? And what rules are there? Well, labeling law, and really it just is labeling and declaring what is your product, whether it be a digital or a hardware product, is all about fair marketing and under the consumer protection law, really, which is separate from federal intellectual property law. So I can't speak directly to, based on experience, litigating consumer protection law. It comes down to the basic policy premise of not mislabeling your product and making sure that you're telling or marketing truthfulness in your product's labels, what it does, descriptions, and so on. And a lot of companies that are in the food industry have to pay very careful attention to things like ingredients, as well as allergy notifications and nutritional facts. But for physical products, devices, and digital products, right, with SaaS agreements, computer downloadable, EULA, end user license agreements on their software, these are the locations where proper disclosure and marketing matters. Let's take a really simple way. Let's talk about just patent pending and the core essence of patent law and when it's proper to label those two magic words, patent pending. It is when you have filed a US patent application. That's it. That's the short answer. As soon as you, the inventor, have filed at least one US patent application or any patent application in the world, and then followed up later with a US patent filing, you can put that on your products. Now, if you've got physical products, you should be putting that marking permanently on the product if you can do it. And so that means engraving, embossing, or permanent marking, maybe even a permanent adhesive or sticker, that type of thing, to make sure it's not going to go away. Now, there is a problem there, right? When you start thinking about it, if you put patent pending, and your goal, of course, is to get the patent granted, you might ask the question, well, why would I invest in tooling and expense in putting that down as patent pending if I'm just going to later change it to US patent granted or with the patent number, which is something you want to do later? Great question. Well, I would say it can take time. It often takes at least a year or two to get your products from patent pending to patent granted, sometimes longer. Now, a patent can start out being pending even if it's filed as a provisional patent application. So whether you see a product on the shelf or you see it online, it says patent pending, you don't know whether that inventor, that owner, filed a provisional, a non-provisional, or even a design patent application. Because any application, as I said earlier, counts as a patent pending, as long as you're actually filed and it is indeed pending. Pending what? Well, pending a examination. So critical point here, if you did file a provisional patent application in the US, you must file it a non-provisional within a year. So let's say you filed the provisional January 1st, 2026. By January 1st, 2027, you must file the non-provisional. If you don't, that provisional is abandoned. And in essence, anything that's been marked as patent pending starting January 2nd, 2027, that is illegitimate. In fact, that product is not marked properly. It's improperly marked, and it is misleading to the public. And I think anyone that buys it under the assumption that it's patent pending has a case that you have perhaps, whether intentionally or not, mislabeled and misrepresented your product. So make sure you do indeed not miss that one-year deadline and keep it pending by filing a non-provisional patent application. That keeps it pending. And again, pending what? Pending the examiner's review. The USPTO examiner will get assigned as soon as a non-provisional, whether it be a utility or a design patent application, is filed. The examiner then gets a hold of it, they do their own patent search, and they'll give almost every single time some form of rejection. They'll find something to pick at, a piece of prior art, something from the past, another patent document that they'll say, your invention is too similar to this. And you'll need to respond back with what's called an office action. Now, when you respond to office actions after rejections, using your attorneys to help you, that's how you can keep your patent moving and keep it moving forward. If you do get a rejection, which is common, and you don't respond to it, that application can go abandoned. So as soon as your application is abandoned, it's no longer pending. And therefore, again, any products, services, any methods or online labeling you've got where you say patent pending, it's invalid. And so that needs to be changed to make sure you're not misleading under the consumer protection laws and certainly under the labeling law for the US patent. So keeping it pending, responding to office actions timely, getting it all the way to patent grant is the goal. Now, when you get a patent granted, I guess it's also true that it's no longer pending. And so it's your obligation to then update the product, the labeling, the permanent marking on the product, the sticker, the label, and the software, the website that might already currently say patent pending, then needs to update and say US patent number, put the number, be proud, and even put a link to it if you want to public websites such as Google or the USPTO website, so that people that are interested, maybe even those bad guys, those competitors of yours, can take a look and validate that you do indeed have a US patent that's granted. Now, there's lots of different ways to abbreviate patent granted. US patent granted, and then put the number of the patent number. And many times, if you've done it right, you're developing a patent portfolio, which is more than one patent for the invention. And so you should say plural, US patents granted. And you can even say, hey, visit this website to look at all of our patents that are issued in this portfolio. So lots of different ways to label it. Get with us here at Bold Patents if you have any questions about patent pending, when to keep it, when to take it off, whether someone else, maybe a third party, is listing patent pending, and what research we can do to see if we can discover whether they're authentically and not misrepresenting the public if they are indeed patent pending. All right, everybody, hope you have a good day today and have learned something about patent pending. Again, if you have any questions, book a free discovery call at boldpatents.com. Take care. Go big, go bold.